Good evening, Dark Horse Nation. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm sure you're ready for the weekend coming up. I know y'all had a long week, and I know you're ready for a weekend of relaxation. So guys, I wanted to share some information with y'all. Ever since Miss Jan broke her wrist trying to ride a two-wheel bike about 2 months ago, she still wants to be able to get out and ride and enjoy some freedom. So we opted for a 3-wheeled Trike. So we shopped around and compared some prices. And there's many names of these bikes, and the majority of them are made in China, and I think maybe Taiwan possibly. But anyway, American-made trikes are going to be very, very expensive, $600, $700, $800, guys. Yes, I'm not knocking American-made products. Usually it's well made. But for something that you're only going to ride once in a while, and it's not really going to take a whole lot of abuse, after doing some reviews, I felt the option that we picked would be alright. So, with that being said, we found a deal on Amazon, and with the discounts that we got through Amazon, what would have been a $270 some bike, we got for $109, guys. So if you shop around a little bit, you can make a good deal. So with that, the shipping wasn't bad. We were expecting about a week and a half, and it came a lot sooner. It was supposed to come on the 26th, and we got it yesterday. So I started working on it yesterday, and going through, they do give you tools. They give you like a crescent wrench, screwdriver, like a little multi-spanner wrench, and yeah, and it helps. But your regular tools from your shop, ratchets and whatnot, will be a better way to go. And they do give you a halfway decent user's manual. I said halfway decent. And let me show you guys some of this before I show you the bike itself. So, as you can see, they give you an extensive book. And I was impressed for the most part. And here are the tools they will give you. Okay. And then they list all of the parts. Okay. And then it starts with assembly. Okay. So, right off the bat, they're showing color photos, which is great, because if you ever got something made from overseas, it was drawn black and white piece of paper, and you couldn't make heads from tails. So I got to admit, this part is nice, seeing the colored shots. Now the problem is though, guys, between steps 1 to 2, sometimes there's a step missing. Okay. I mean, so, but you know, for colored photos, for the most part, they did a good job. One of the areas that wasn't so great was with the derailleur and how to string that up, and it just didn't show exactly which way it should go for the most part. And then another thing I didn't like, guys, was the chain link. It's not a standard master link like we use here with a clip. And theirs is this looks like this right here, guys. If you can see, where are we at? Right here. So if you can see, it's supposed to go on the link, and then it locks in the grooves on the pins right here. Well, I'm here to tell you, it would not line up because the actual link was spread out and would not fit, and I had to put it in a vise and work on that to get the actual link to go on and snap in place, and it was still a pain. So just be wary of that. And if you try to use, say, a 35 master link, it will not run through the derailleur, and so one of the guards, through the on top of the derailleur, it just won't fit. So you pretty much got to use what they send you. So for the most part, like I said, it was pretty decent. The biggest issue that I have where it may jump an entire space, and I'll give you a prime example near the end of it, when I was putting the front basket on. Like in the front, see, in their directions right here, they do not tell you that this bar needs to connect to that, and you've already attached the wheel several steps ahead, and when you get this on, it's like, okay, where does it go? And then you got to take the bolts back out on each side, nuts off on each side, and put it back in. So things like that were a little aggravating. It does have pretty good comprehensive fine-tuning instructions for the most part, and so overall, I mean, it has a decent instruction book for the most part. But you can also go online. There's not a lot of videos on this, and but I just wanted to share that with y'all. Now, getting to the bike itself. This one is a 24-inch women's Trike. So overall, it looks great. They have end caps for all the tires, front and back. And then that basket, guys, I'm going to try to go over slowly so you know exactly how this goes on. And so the front basket attaches here. The bracket attaches to the bottom, and they'll send everything connected to your basket for the most part. Now, we did find some loose screws and nuts in the box, but for the most part, we did have everything we needed. You will have to assemble, take these loose to get this front fender on. Out of the box though, something to think about, it did have a dent right here, a small dent that was out of the box. The shifter, the set screw, it was not tight, so when you turned it, the entire thing would rotate. You need to check that. It comes in two pieces. You have the front frame and the rear frame, and everything is tie wrapped pretty much together, so you have to untie everything. The seat you have to put on, and kind of not happy with that because it's kind of hard to lock down with this bracket here, and I'll show you on the other side. This was bent a little bit too far forward. It was rubbing the sprocket. You have to put the chain guard on. The wheels, you guys, on the non-drive side, that's this one. When it came out of the box, this right here is going to be a separate piece all by itself. And so you have to attach the chain, the wheels to this. And when you get it out of the box, the two double bars, that will be in the upright position, okay? And this wheel here, the left wheel, it will have a spacer right here, and this wheel over here, it's got like a D-shaped insert that slides over this shaft. Now, out of the factory, this right here was sticking out almost a half an inch from the factory. So I had to loosen up all of this under here and slide the entire shaft over this way to get everything lined up to where it needed to be. Okay, so that was one of the biggest issues I had with it. I mean, if you don't have a mechanical background and you see that, you're not going to know that it's not supposed to be that way. And so that is rather annoying. The mechanical brake, guys, is fairly simple. You just take it, and let me see if I can get around here where you can see it. Alright. This one right here. There's a spring that you attach here. Close that up half the distance. Pull your cable out, and there's a lock nut right here on this side. Lock it down, good to go. The derailleur, same thing, guys. Their instructions were a little bit vague. Make sure your cable goes around the top of the axle here and comes back through right here. This is one of the adjustments. If you can see that right there, and then right through here, tie it off and lock it down. Now you'll have to set the high and low limits, guys, on that, and there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to do that. I'm not going to go through that today. I just want to show y'all some of the areas that you may have trouble with this bicycle. The rear fenders, guys, these braces were kind of bent weird, and so the fender would not sit exactly center of that, so I had to bend all those to center those, and the same with this one. The basket is kind of a pain, and because of these little bolts right here, because it's like a door hinge, and you have to line all this up, and then they got a locking nut at the bottom. Well, guess what? There is no tool that you can get in there to hold that to tighten this up. You can't turn this in place. So you got to be able to hold this and have a good enough screwdriver to lock these down. And the way to do that is just take a 8mm, the opened end, and turn it sideways and lock it between both of these little bars, and then screw it down as best you can. And that was a pain, and a couple of them didn't want to line up, and I had to take a hammer and knock them down. The seat, I'm not real fond of how they got it set up. They've got this kind of attachment here that closes on the shaft, and so you can't get around to get it so tight, which is rather annoying. And because you have to adjust it for a person who has short legs, then it's hard to get in there. They should have made this where it would either move in or out. That way you could turn it from either direction. So other than that, guys, really, for the money and for what you're going to spend and use it for, I'll be honest with you, I think it's a good purchase. And you'll see all kinds of reviews about what a piece of crap this is, and then you'll see some, people are happy. My advice is, if you're not mechanically inclined, I would not recommend buying this bike. If you have some decent skills and with a mechanical background, it's no problem to put it together. I mean, you just got to use a little bit of common sense, guys. You may have to bend some of the fender brackets out. Like I say, I had to realign the main drive shaft, and other than that, it's pretty simple, guys. And it's a two-piece front and back. And as you can see here, this is the front, and you got two bolts that holds this entire back piece to this frame, and you have to line it up to tension your chain, and to get the basket to fit too, it's got to be in the right spot. So the way I've done it, guys, I threw it on my kitchen table upside down with the handlebars and the seat down top of the table, and I built it on top of my kitchen table for the most part. And then when you get to a certain stage, throw some jack stands underneath on each side. That way you can rotate the pedals and set the derailleur and the brake tensions and all that stuff. It's really pretty simple, guys. And for the money, I'm happy with it, and I think Miss Jan is too. So I wanted to share that with you guys. If you're thinking about buying a three-wheel trike just for occasional use here and there, I think you'll do well to pick one up. And it comes in a good sized box, and like I say, they were some pieces in the bottom of the box, I admit, and they do pack it in there tight. So they will have the handlebars turned down, and it's all compacted to fit in that box. But guys, this little bell works. I mean, for the money, I think it's a good investment. For someone who wants to get out, do a little exercise, and I don't think you can go wrong. So with that being said, guys, I hope you all have a blessed, safe weekend. Have fun this weekend, and I will catch you guys soon with another video of some kind. And please like, subscribe, share, guys. It's free, and this is called a Viribus. I think that's how it's pronounced. And check it out. for the money. And with that being said, guys, you know, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So I'm going to give all of y'all a big toast today. And I know y'all deserve it. And here we go. What do we say, Dark Horse Nation? Damn. That's good. Alright, y'all. Take care. God bless. See you again soon.